Christian rock station.
Is it on now?
And I'm getting RF in this floor monitor.
Try to lift the AC in. I don't hear it anywhere up here.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thing to check is the audio lead going into that monitor. Don't put it in a loop. Pull the loop out, just pull it snap.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, try that.
Alrighty, beginning slate. Camera one. Camera. There we go. Camera two. Camera three. Camera four. There we go. Overhead. Yeah, GoPro one. One more. Sorry.
One more.
Yep, one more. Canon. All right, slate complete. 30
Way,
minutes.
way to slap your slate, Forrest.
How do you do that?
That's right. Do you guys have any choreography planned at all? You're just going to all be sitting.
Every song.
Nah, it's okay. Just bumps up the views. Oh, yeah, good idea. That's a good idea, Forrest.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Red leather, yellow leather. Shoot the vocal arrows.
Here we go.
Which is Brad camera? Two?
Two.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Break a leg.
Wait, was that sarcastic or? Just kidding.
Plan the studio, please. Stand by, Brad. Stand by, Kate. 5, 4, 3. Brad, go.
Hello, one and all. Good to have you with us on Red Barn Radio. I'm Brad Becker. Tonight we are in our 21st season of Red Barn Radio, and we welcome you to show number 799. That's one away from 800, Matt. This week on Red Barn Radio, we have a troupe of gritty Southern rockers called the Brothers Gillespie. The band began in late 2018 on the suggestion of a friend to record an EP of songs they'd been kicking around for fun. The eponymous release got so much attention, the band moved operations away from their home to Johnson City, Tennessee, a music hotbed, which also happens to be a short throw to Nashville. There's more to tell. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. You're going to love this band. Welcome the Brothers Gillespie.
Your fault that the world spins. Oh, the frost, it bites and steals, and stones commune atop a hill. Spring will come and it'll be okay. Spring will come and it'll be okay.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Our guest on Red Barn Radio tonight are the Brothers Gillespie. The brothers, now based in their Waynesville, North Carolina home, had a really successful couple of years playing shows from Virginia to Texas and places in between. They returned to the stage in 2022 with a very strong conceptual sophomore album called American Pastoral, which is a great listen, and I know it will make your playlist. They'll be playing a number of tunes from that tonight. The Brothers Gillespie have garnered shining accolades from Southern Living and Smoky Mountain News, and now they are here to join us on Red Barn Radio. We give you the Brothers Gillespie.
Thank you very much. We want to start out by saying this is hallowed ground for anybody that loves country music and roots music. So we're honored and thrilled to be here, especially on the 799th episode. And we hopefully won't be the ones that screwed up. We're going to play a string of our more country-sounding songs. This first one is a song I wrote in college after a night of some drinking. For whatever reason, it was standard form of myself to stay up later than everybody, and I guess this night in particular, I decided to walk through my neighborhood with a BB gun I'd gotten, shooting at flood lamps and street lights and basically anything that had an illuminated light bulb. And of course, the next day, I had to grapple with my bad decisions, and I never got in trouble, and I think the statute of limitations are up at this point, so that's why I'm saying it on the radio. But at any rate, so I wrote this song about running from your bad decisions and hoping they don't come up to you. It is called The Night I Shot the Lights. Not a soul around to take control of a reckless fire within. I've seen my day, and more times seen my demise, and I've let my share of thieves come through my mouth and still my mind. So I couldn't tell you who offended who to start that fight, but I felt inclined to grab a gun and shoot out every light. Like a soldier of the dark, like an infidel at night, I raised that rifle up unto the stars along the sky. But no gun with all its power could ever reach the moon. And that bullet's twice as angry when it's coming back toward you. And this is what I've heard. There's a lady that sings on Judgment Day with a voice that shakes the earth. But they don't say that when the chickens come to roost, there's a mile line of angry eyes staring back at you. Well, I had to run, I hit that gun, grabbed a ladder from the side. I put one end in the dirt and laid the other on the sky. Well, the moon got mad when I got close, 'cause I shot at all his friends. So he shook me loose, so I would fall and meet the earth again. And no ladder with all its rungs could ever reach the moon. And that ground don't look forgiving when it's coming back to you. No gun with all its power could ever reach the moon. And that bullet's twice as angry when it's coming back to you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Ed, they're already saying they can't hear. They're already saying they can't hear. Some of the monitors are gonna have to come back up. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that at the weddings though, which is very. Gotta try it there. Sorry, guys.
That is okay. Okay. We're gonna play a song. The little brother of the band, he's the drummer. He wrote. I'll give him a chance to talk about it after, I think, because he likes to go on. This is a song called 16 Gears. 16 years in a long white line. I'm puffing on the smoke, get my 389. Listen to the rain, get a whole lot of gold. 16 years and 20 miles to go. Well, I called up my baby, said I haven't seen you lately. I wish you would pick up your phone. She said you're drinking and carrying on, you know you can't come home. I said the only place that I'd rather be, and the only face that I'd rather see, is with that woman of mine. She's a one of a kind, and she's living in Tennessee. 16 years in a long white line. I'm puffing on the smoke, get my 389. 16 years in a long black line. I'm puffing on the smoke in my 389. Listen to some hay, get a whole lot of gold. 16 years and 20 miles to go. 16 years and 20 miles to go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Clay, do you want to talk about that song and this next one coming up?
Yeah. So that last one, that's a honky tonk number about a 16-gear Peterbilt 389, which if you drive trucks, you know that doesn't exist. But I don't drive trucks. I never driven a truck in my life, a big semi like that. So I don't know any better. But nobody else is none the wiser either. So it seems nobody's corrected me so far. So yeah, I wrote that one about truck driving, which I've never done, and then this next one is about running away from something. I don't quite know what it is, but maybe you can sort it out. You decide. This next one's called Coal Train. I wrote this from when we were down in Biloxi, Mississippi, down there in the Gulf Shore.
Well, that coal train, coal rain, looking out for low rain, south of Mississippi, with a nose full of cocaine. I knew I'd be back again. Well, I packed it up for Mississippi, gone so fast, no time to miss me. Here's my highway to Jackson Hole. Seasons changed and we grew older and bolder. A child growing cold against the world. But he looked just like me, a child of the 20th century, and lost inside the eyes of a girl. Well, you finally on your 8-day break, and your woman's mad 'cause you got home late. It seems this life is getting lost. Yeah, you're close enough for government work, but a slave to all the small town dirt too. Never had a dream of something better. Seasons changed and we grew older and older. A child growing old against the world. But she looked just like me, a child of the 20th century, and lost inside the eyes of a girl. Thank you very much. This next one is one of our longer songs. We released it as a single when we put out our album last year, to which someone remarked to me, this will never get radio play, it's too long. But here we are, I'd like to say that, playing it on the radio. When I first wrote it, I played it for a friend of mine who liked it so much, he asked me to play it again so he could record it on his phone. And I think at the time he was, at some crossroads in his own life and turning points and what have you. And so he'd come back to me after listening to the song and tell me what he thought certain parts meant, or at least what they meant, what he thought I was saying. And of course in my head I'm thinking, no, that's not what I was saying at all. That's not what the song's about. But it was about that point that I realized songs were kind of like Rorschach paintings, am I saying that right? Rorschach paintings were kind of what you see is what you get, and I think that's more important. So yeah, whenever we play this song, those are the two things that come to mind, is how long it is, and that songs are Rorschach paintings. So this is a song called Angst and Ivory. Got a black tattoo with a story on the side. Story that'll bore you from a drunken spot in your mind. She's got an oddly optimistic attitude, at least on all the days that she gets up before noon. Somewhere safe up on the mountaintop, living in a tent while the tower's in the shop. When it rains, and believe me, friends, it will, just skate on bricks of ivory to the bottom of the hill. Someone's gonna be there to catch her when she does. You tell yourself it won't be you, but you know you wish it was. She don't miss a single chance to talk about herself, but she seems to be content as far as we can tell. She don't know if heaven's real. Sold on hell. She's full of angst and ivory, but her love handles well. Safely in the company someone that she calls a friend, but he might disagree. Her bags are packed and sitting by the door, one shoe on a foot and 1 foot higher off the floor. She don't hide, but she don't run away. She just finds it hard sometimes to get enough to stay. But when it rains, and believe me, boys, it will, you'll wish you'd ate the bullet and not the long baby pill. No one wants to be there to watch your yellow die. Sometimes you'd rather be the tattoo with a story on her wrist. Story interrupted by a drunk apologist. She's got a box of rings and charms beside her bed. Letters that she never sent with words she wished she'd said. She takes the morning star inside a cup, and a book she doesn't read a page of once it's opened up. She's somewhere safe in the walls of ivory, clothed in grace and dignity, but mostly irony. And you're just another detour in a drunk tattoo harangue. Stop to ask directions and a smoky bar exchange. She's just a little fool in a yellowing sungown, better than the whole damn lot of riding little crown. She don't know it just, and she's not sold on hell. She's full of thanks and ivory for the love and as well. Yeah, she's full of thanks and ivory for the love and as well.
All right, we're here with the Brothers Gillespie on Red Barn Radio tonight. The guys are from, well, they're based now in Waynesville, North Carolina. I guess they came from there too. We'll learn about how they ended up there and also how they got back there in the course of our conversation tonight. This is Davis, Aaron, and Clay Gillespie, and then they're joined by Chance Kuhn and David. Your last name, is it pronounced Barnard or Barnard? Second syllable or first? Barnard. Barnard. Okay, second, stress on second syllable. Okay, good. I'll try to remember that. Great to have you guys here. And that song could have gone on for much longer for me. It was great.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you very much.
really loving the sound.
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right, so you're back in Waynesville, North Carolina. Is that actually where you all grew up?
It is, at least the three brothers, we are born and raised in Waynesville. These guys, of course, Chance is too, but
Sure.
he's actually was born in Canada, so we do have a Canadian in here.
Oh, heavens.
But yeah, we're born and raised in Waynesville. We really only kind of did our little sabbatical in Johnson City because Clay was still in school after me and Aaron had graduated. And I think that took the stress off of Clay from driving back and forth for practice. And I think me and Aaron were kind of at a point where it wouldn't hurt to get out of our hometown and out of our parents' house. So that was we were in Johnson City for about a year, and since I guess 2019, we've been back in Waynesville, and very proud to be from Waynesville. And
Well, let's go back to Waynesville. What kind of parents raised three brothers who are such good musicians, and then also seem to like each other?
yeah, yeah, we do. My parents, we do come from a musical family. My mom has sang all her life. She doesn't miss an opportunity to remind us whenever if she has a critique of a show or something we've done, and we say, "Mom, you know, we've been doing this." She'll remind us she did sing the national anthem, right, at a Miami Heat game, Miami Heat Charlotte Hornets game.
She did.
She did in the '90s, I believe it was.
That's a
So
distinction.
yeah, she's a singer. My dad had a garage band when he was in high school, played trumpet, and of course, just being around them and riding in their cars, we were exposed to a lot of music and a lot of different kinds of music, and I think we're kind of a melting pot of everything that kind of went in our brains in the backseat of their cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was expecting you were going to say that your mother, when your mother critiqued your shows, she was going to critique your vocal work, what you did in your singing.
No, she's never done that. She's very flattering about my vocals. I think we kind of understand each other on a part that, it takes a lot to get up there and be that, sing in front of people, and she understands it.
Clay, back on the drums, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to mention that, if you're familiar with the Osmonds, one of them was a little country and the other one was a little rock and roll.
Yeah, you guys remind me a lot
My,
of the
my
Osmonds,
mom
yeah.
was very much the gospel show tunes, and my dad was, rock and roll and all of that stuff. My dad had Ramones CDs in his car, and my mom had Wicked. That was kind of what was going on there.
What about your mom's vocal training? Did she grow up sort of learning in the church, or was she classically trained as a vocalist, or?
I think a little bit of both. I'm
Yeah.
probably going to get in trouble for not answering this correctly, so I'm sorry. But
Sorry,
yeah,
Mom.
I think, she was raised singing in church her whole life, and then was also in a lot of musicals and shows and stuff throughout, even her time in college and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you picked up the rear end, Clay, as the youngest brother. Talk to us a little bit about how your older brothers sort of inspired you to play and to pick up an instrument.
Yeah, so I've always loved playing music. I think that I got stuck on the drums because I was the youngest. I'm just joking. I love the drums. I gravitated towards it more than anything.
But
It's a little true.
Are you jockeying for position to push yourself up into the limelight up front?
At this point, I feel like it sets me aside because they're both playing guitar. So
Uh-huh.
now
Oh, there you go.
I've kind of got my own thing.
Good.
But yeah, I think throughout our whole life, me, Aaron, and Davis have had some iteration of a band since we were knee-high to a grasshopper. Sitting out in the yard pretending like we're playing instruments, and then eventually learning how to play instruments. And I know for a fact that me and Aaron have probably had 5 different bands together that never did anything, but we were playing stuff. And then me and Davis have had, I don't know how many different bands of us just sitting there singing or playing guitars and pretending that we're doing stuff. So yeah, it's been our whole life.
So you went to college. Did your older siblings also do college?
Yes, both
Yeah.
of them did as well. I went to school in Johnson City at East Tennessee State University.
Oh, right.
I studied bluegrass and country music there.
All right, traditional music program.
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. Davis went to the University of Tennessee, and Aaron went to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte.
Aaron, what'd you do in college?
A whole lot of not
Educationally.
educationally, I studied political science and economics because there was little to no math, and that was easy for me. It allowed a lot more time for extracurricular activities, and so, yeah, I'll just be honest. I didn't take my undergraduate too seriously.
You're not alone.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good. Because the way you were looking, I was like, oh, am I?
No.
Judging me?
No.
No. Yeah,
School teacher who didn't.
Yeah, so no, I went to UNC Charlotte. I actually wanted to go to Western Carolina University. I wanted to be in the music program, but had a lot of outside influences that kind of told me, maybe don't do that. Maybe have something.
He had a girlfriend.
I had a girlfriend.
The real story.
And so I ended up not doing that, which is something I actually wanted to do, and went to UNC Charlotte and kind of just did things that I didn't really want to do. And so it wasn't until after Charlotte that I kind of realized, like, I think maybe I should stick to the things that I do want to do.
Well, college accomplished something
Yeah.
for you, and which I mean that seriously.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's cool. And and then what about you, Davis? Talk about your time in school.
I studied psychology. I think that was really one of the few things I think I could really, I was interested in. I could read the books and thank God I did, because I got by by the skin of my teeth as well. But yeah, so I have a degree in psychology, and I'm not using it.
Well,
But I do. I think you're right. I mean, it's some. Even though I'm not using it at the moment, it is something it's an experience that I'm glad I had, And who's to say I wouldn't be here now?
How can a songwriter say he's not using his degree in
You're right,
psychology?
Thank you for saying that. That's very true. Yeah, I'd like to think I'm pretty observant and
Yeah.
good at picking brains, maybe.
What are your earliest memories, the three of you, of picking up the instrument that you play now? Davis, you
Well,
want to start us off?
My earliest memory will be later than theirs because they started before me. I didn't pick mine up until I got to college, and I think I found myself having a lot of time in my room, and like I said, they had been playing, and I was a little jealous of that, so I started to learn how to play, and that kind of just snowballed into writing songs. I think I was doing it, as if you would write in a journal, maybe. As kind of an outlet for that. But you guys started probably in middle school, right?
Yeah, I mean, on and off again in middle school. Honestly, when I was in middle school, I saw like a music video on MTV when they still had music videos. And it was early in the morning, though. They were starting to move away because they were shoving it in the early morning and late at night. So I saw like a music video. I don't even remember the band at this point, but like I saw a guy playing guitar. I was like, that's so cool. I was like, I got to learn how to play guitar. And so I got a guitar, and I wasn't immediately good at it. So, I got mad. And then I came back a few years later, and actually a funny story, Chance was the guy who kind of integrated me back into guitar and taught me some of my first chops and stuff like that.
So Chance is over there on the far side of the stage, and Chance is actually the guy playing the sliding guitar.
Yeah, that's. I was attempting to tonight. Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
Where do you? Chance, how did you guys meet?
The brothers.
Yeah, how did you meet Aaron?
Short version.
It doesn't need to be short.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I.
Well, maybe you should go with the short.
Yeah.
version. Now that I think about it. No, go ahead.
I'm the oldest member of the crew here, and I was introduced to them when they were younger in high school. I remember going to parties that they'd throw, and I remember a specific few that they would throw, and I would be usually, the one kind of making sure people didn't die, and then but they would all pass out pretty quick.
How handy.
Yeah. So, but no, I kind of they were friends. Zach, our bass player, before David, he was best friends with Aaron and kind of got in that way, and kind of watched him grow up and tried to influence him in all the wrong things.
When did you start playing?
I started playing when I was 8. I got the bug pretty bad when I listened to some blues music. Actually, I'm a big blues man, but it was Lenny Kravitz, Fly Away, that did it for me. I don't know what that was, but when I heard that, I was like, I got to figure out that. And so I worked my way to AC/DC on a tape deck on the back of a bus until I could figure all that out, and tried to start bands on the bus at that stage with friends that didn't even know how to play instruments. I said, don't worry, we'll figure it out. And I guess it came full circle,
Yeah. Chance, do you play with a lot of different folks, or do you channel all of your sort of musical and artistic energy into this project?
I invest most of my energy into this project. It's an absolute honor to play with these guys. It's so fulfilling for me to be able to kind of watch their journey and to be able to join them and come alongside of them. I think Davis is an absolute fabulous frontman. So it's just an honor for me. I've played around the area for many years in different projects and different bands and different instruments, and out of all of it, I've had a blast. But I think in this project, I'm having the most fun.
All right. Well, let's come back and talk a little bit more later. We still have yet to meet Mr. Barnard and talk with you, and we'll do that after some more music. So let's get back to some music with the Brothers Gillespie on Red Barn Radio.
This is a song. I wrote about 6 or 7 versions of it, and this one has gotten the farthest, but it's just about not liking the month of January.
to swim without the fun will never end. And the scars on our arms from jumping the briars again. Cabin in the woods, and what could be a better fit than the daughter of a drum and the son of a bitch? I flew in the fireplace in that house of art. She seemed to go quick. When the summer comes, I'll be better than I am now. And you swallow a little bit of everything you put inside your mouth. Choose my words more carefully, and I won't drink more than give somebody else. Thank you very much. Thank you. This next one, I don't know if it's got much of a story. I think I had the chords first, and as the words started coming to me, it quickly turned into a pretty corny love song. And rather than fight it, I decided to see where it went. And I think around the time I had seen the movie, Not Another Teen Movie, where at the end he chases her through the airport to stop her from leaving, and then they realized that it actually will never work between them, and it was dumb, and she would be dumb to stick around. So I thought that was kind of funny, and then be unconventional for a love song. So we named this one Not Another Love Song. 1, 2, 1, 2, hey. Left the shoe at the prom last night and rode home with a friend so you wouldn't see her cry.
so hard being the know-it-all. It hurts me when I'm wrong, but it hurts more when you're right. And if something's gonna give, now I'm running down the interstate. I couldn't hail a cab, so I'm crying in the rain. Gotta make it to a terminal to make a change of mind before she pulls the plane. And if something's gonna give, it'd be nice if it did now. It did now. It's a fool who waits around, and makes others wait around. Oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. All the dreams you said you drew me in, well, I'm hardly half the price of the man you fantasize. I just want you to be close to me, so I know that you're there, even when I close my eyes. But if you stay for me and miss your plane, well, there's no one else to blame, and you're dumber than my life. And if something's gonna give, it'd be nice if it did now. It did now. It's a fool who waits around, It'd be nice if it did now. It did now. It's a fool who waits around, and makes others wait around. Oh,
Thank you. I told them if everybody got a microphone, they had to sing that one. And they did. I think everybody did. It's a good job, guys.
I was in there. I was in there.
Okay. This next one is a song called Headlights. The story goes behind this one is that we were actually coming home from Merle Fest one year. It was nighttime Sunday, and we're driving home, and as we're coming over a hill on like the back road that it takes to get from Waynesville to Wilkesboro, another car was decided to pass, so it was coming head on as we crowned the hill, and it was just one of those ones shakes you up. But I realized I wasn't really scared of dying. It was later like just kind of the image of the car wreck in my head. So I started to when I got home, started writing down a song listing out my fears. And when I brought it to them, the song was called A Moment of Fear. But the first line in the song says, I saw headlights. So regardless of what I named it, every time we went to practice, they said, all right, are we playing headlights? And thankfully, they did, because they're better at naming songs than I am, but also shows you how silly naming songs is. This is a song called Headlights.
saw headlights, and I saw my life flash before my eyes. But it wasn't like all the times that it's been described. No highlight reel playing in my head, just an image of me being dead in a moment of fear. I was too scared to go back to my home. I could sense the storm from down the road, but I didn't know all the time alone would take this pretty heart and turn it cold. When he took his son up to the mountaintop, I went and got the hell to die. Decided to disappear. No, I'm no angel, but on paper I'm a savior. I'm no devil, I'm just dancing on the pedal, stealing what I can. Well, I saw her face and I learned her name when we sat beside each other on the train, and we laughed and sang through the fire and rain. But I knew a stop was never far away. She stepped off just like a dancer. I don't remember what the answer was. The train going on ahead. No, I'm no angel, but on paper I'm a savior. And I'm no devil, I'm just dancing on the pedal and stealing what I can. I'm stealing what I can. I'm stealing what I can.
All right. Well, we've got lots more music and conversation with the Brothers Gillespie. But first, I'd like to take a minute to remind listeners that Red Barn live streams, both tonight's and on any given Wednesday, remain available online for you to view at your convenience. Our live video stream is available on the weku.org website, as is our audio stream, compliments of WGAD.net in central New York. Don't miss a single episode of our program, and for heaven's sakes, be sure to tell your friends what it is that you like about Red Barn Radio and why they should be tuning in every week as well. Our guest next week on Red Barn Radio is Matt Koziol. Matt Koziol is a Nashville songwriter who's collaborated with a host of super pros in the industry, from John Paul White and Charlie Worsham to Abby Anderson and Bray Kennedy, among others. As his friends and collaborators say, Matt has a terrific knack for pulling remarkable stories from peers to use as inspiration in the songwriting process. Of his work, Matt says, "I make music to feel, to move, and to heal not only people who hear it, but also myself." So while I have the chance to do it, I'll make sure every chord and every note has every last piece of me with it to give. There's no sense and no worth in holding back. That's Matt Koziol next week on Red Barn Radio. Let's get back to tonight's Red Barn Radio program. We welcome you live on our social media platforms, broadcasting from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the grand city of Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome back to Brothers Gillespie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. If it's raining over cloud, I'm going to Cherokee to get my money back. I'm going to get my money back. I've been working 7 weeks and serving in the heat. And if they could all it off for rain, well, I ain't coming back. Send my love to Calabash and ride it tenderly. Tell my honey pie that I ain't coming back. I'm gonna chase the thunder down the Tuckasegee, and that river only runs one way. No, I ain't coming back. I've been working all my life and serving for the beast. And if he sends me home for rain, well, I ain't coming back.
Hey, Davis, I think I'm going to jump in here and talk some more with you guys.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break up your flow
Hey, this
here.
is your
I
show,
know.
man. We're just
Great music. Really enjoying it. I was kind of wondering as I was listening to play the last few numbers, when you guys decided to have 2 electric guitars in this band, did you have in mind one guy was going to kind of chunk along on the rhythm, do that big fat thing, and the other guy was going to kind of do the leads? Or, Aaron, I'm just kind of curious about that. Sometimes you guys sound like, Crazy Horse, all that with all that.
Yeah, thank
grind.
you.
It's great.
That's high
It's great sound. Yeah.
No, actually, funny story. Chance was gonna play keys.
Oh,
Yeah, Chance, and he still is, But it's just we just like the sound of the 2 guitars, and
I
I
do
think
too.
it just works because he kind of, like I said, he taught me kind of how to play guitar, and so we just kind of know we just have that chemistry, I guess, that
Yeah.
we know where each other's gonna go, like rhythmically, with the lead and stuff like that, and I do think we wanted the slide. He was pretty stoked on bringing some slide to the table, and we thought it fit. So,
Oh, yeah.
it was awesome, and yeah, I just think like the slide and then the transition to also him playing just standard is just good. It just, like I said, it's kind of a chemistry thing. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
Don't question it. is
I
what
love
think.
I love the guitar choices you guys are making. It's great
Thank you.
sound.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Really great fat sound.
Thank you.
Lest he feel slighted, we should go to David Barnard, and talk some with you. Could you maybe share your mic with him, Davis? Absolutely. And then you guys can then you can interrupt him anytime you feel like it. You'll be real nice and close there.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, that works.
Howdy.
That works okay. Hey, David, could you tell us how you ended up with these guys and about your background and your training and all that business?
Yes.
All right.
I met Aaron through a friend. Yeah, friend's girlfriend, I think. Yeah. Pat's girlfriend. And I was playing bass at frog level, and they dug my style, so. they
At
took me
frog
up.
level?
Yeah.
It's a brewery in Waynesville. That's also where I work. So yeah, his band, or one of the bands he was playing with, was playing, and I saw him playing, and I'd met him a couple times, and yeah, I just really liked what he was doing.
Did you tear him out from underneath that band and never look back, or?
Well, I hope not.
That band is changes a lot,
Yeah.
so it wasn't weird for me to
Oh, gotcha.
make a shift.
Yeah, gotcha. And did you play music all your life? You seem to really get into it and feel comfortable
Yeah.
with your instrument.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Both my parents are professional musicians, so they tried to steer me away from it, but but I don't know. I love doing this. so.
How could they do that with a clear conscience? Try to
Yeah.
steer you away from music.
Yeah, this is for your education, not for a career choice. But it was too late at that point,
And that bass instrument you have, is that GLS or what is it? What kind of
You have
instrument
to
is it?
ask Aaron.
So
Oh.
Ernie Ball Music Man.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Stingray, I think, or no, it's not Stingray, but yeah. so
Stingray.
it is.
It's
okay.
a Stingray.
Oh yeah, it's a nice looking instrument. And so why do I have to ask Aaron about the bass that you
Because
play?
this is Aaron. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a couple, but this one's nice.
Is that the one you've just grown fond of?
And he just grabs it for me, so
Well, that's handy. So
Yeah.
Does he carry it in and out for you?
I try to not let him do that, but
Does he also dress you for shows and things like that?
obviously.
He did a
Yeah.
good job.
Thank you.
Hey, I would love to hear you guys talk about the new album. The new 22 album, 2022. Still new, right? You still call that your new album?
Oh, yeah,
The
definitely.
American Pastoral?
Yeah. So American Pastoral, well, yeah, it's 16 tracks.
Yeah.
And then intro, outro, interlude. So 19 total if you're on Spotify or anything like that. But yeah, so there's a lot to it. We released it August 5th. So yeah, it's new, and I
Yeah.
feel like it'll stay new for a while since there's so much in there. But American Pastoral was kind of what happened when we didn't really, everything shut down for a year in 2020, and we weren't playing shows. We had nothing to do. We had a lot of anxious energy. We had a lot of creative energy, and we kept holding our breath, waiting to play, hoping that we could get the opportunity. And it wasn't well into 2021 that we, were starting to be able to go play places. But by then, we kind of were, we were just in the mindset of recording that album, and we had, we actually had so many ideas. We had a lot more tracks that we could have added, but we wanted to trim it down, obviously. And so, it's just it's kind of the American Pastoral, is kind of the American dream. It's kind of American Pastoral, our album, is almost like a culmination of our dream and our process playing music. Yeah.
So during the time of we haven't talked about the pandemic for a while
Yeah.
here. It seems like we've gotten away from it, and I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
But I'm also okay. I mean, it seems to me this had a big impact on you, on the music that you created during that time. It seems that one thing that happened with a lot of people during the pandemic is that they sort of languished, and sort of got in that space where they were sort of not sure what emotion they felt, and they were unable to sort of find that flow in their lives and everything else. But it sounds to me like you guys beat that and did something really healthy.
Well, we tried. I remember talking to my dad, like, in the thick of 2020, and just kind of saying, like, I was like, I just have to wonder, like, what's, like, when we come out the other side of this, like, what's going to happen? What's it going to be like, because I think one of the things we started reading, I won't say we were reading a lot of Shakespeare, but we were reading up on Shakespeare. And I think, what was it? King Lear was written in a pandemic, or during a time of, health stress. And I think we just chose to, I think we really were just like, well, we have some time. Everyone has some time to slow down. We have some time to slow down. We're not on the road. We can't be on the road. We could choose to languish, or we could choose to, like, create something out of this. And I think that's, we chose to create.
Yeah, and it helped, I suppose, that you're brothers.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Definitely.
a lot of bands, couldn't get themselves together to rehearse.
Yeah.
Not only because they didn't want to be in the same place, but because their families felt protective of them, didn't want them to go in places where there were a lot of people and whatnot. So you guys had that going for you, which is cool. Tell us in a little more depth about the sort of the song cycle of you got did you say 18 tracks, 16?
16 tracks, and then plus intro, outro, interlude, so it's like 19 total, but 16 like legitimate music,
And do you think of it as like a song cycle, as a sort of one story that's all sort of held?
Yeah, I think of it
together?
almost
Yeah.
as like a novel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk some more about some of those songs? Did you write the majority of those songs, Davis?
I did. I think the main thing I realized maybe during that 2020 and 2021 was just the cycle of the year and the seasons. Became kind of hyper aware of how long winter is and kind of like dreadful. But then that transition into spring and then back into summer, eventually back into winter. And that's something we really, or at least I don't know, I don't think it was intentional, but I found myself kind of riding with the changing of seasons and the passing of time. And once we did realize that, that's helped us maybe conceptualize it and put it into the order it was in. I also want to say I didn't know about the King Lear fact, and I also didn't know why David, how he ended up in this band. So I'm learning a lot today.
Well, I thought
very
you
educational
told
for
me
me.
about King Lear.
Oh, I
Well,
didn't
guess
know
it
that. No, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
But
you
that's
told me
fitting.
about that.
There's a lot of stuff, and then stuff like that. You kind of it was an odd time, and I think one thing I tried not to do was, even though I did do it, was make it kind of say things. We have a song called "Pandemic Love," and years from now, hopefully, people will have no idea what we're talking about, or at least it won't affect or mean to them what it means to us. So I tried not to make it very clear and present what what was going on, what we were going through, but rather just write about the isolation and just figuring out just how to grapple all that and kind of starting over. It seemed like, and
So I have a couple other questions to ask you guys before we get back to some more music. One question I meant to ask earlier on, which is, before you were writing your own music, I'm curious to know with this outfit, what kind of cover content were you doing?
Gosh, well, the first few songs we tried to play together, does anybody remember?
Sister Golden Hair.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say
America?
Yes, sir.
that. That was an early one that we never. Of course, early on we really couldn't get the hang of it. Now I'm sure we could do it, but I don't know that I want to. Bad memories.
Do you guys do Muskrat Love?
No.
Oh, okay,
do
all right.
Muskrat
I was
Love.
curious. I had to ask.
We did, I remember we did, what was that? I think we did Ramble on Rose by the Grateful Dead.
Uh-huh.
We did Macy Gray's I Try. That was one of my
Yeah.
favorites that we played. We would try, or one of my favorites that we would do is we would do the Talking Heads, This Must Be the Place.
Oh.
My parents' favorite were when we would do Melissa by the Allman Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff, it was literally all over the place. So we'd play a Pixie song, a Talking Head song, and then the Allman Brothers, Macy Gray, the Grateful Dead.
Oh, I like that. A little
Stuck
something for
inside a
everybody.
mobile with the Memphis Blues again.
Ah.
Some Bob Dylan covers and everything. Yeah, it was. There was never like one set, like genre that we were covering. It was always just whatever we were willing to or wanting to play.
Can you guys easily play 4 or 5 hours?
No, we can't.
That's never easy. I mean,
No.
okay.
No, we can tackle 2 hours pretty effortlessly, and I think after that is where we.
Is it?
start to
That's when you go to the Sister Golden Hair.
Yeah.
There's a fight threshold, you know. So,
Understandable.
After so many hours, we have to.
Disengage.
And then the other question I guess I had for you guys is, can you talk a little bit about some of your travels and some of the experiences you've had out there, and some things that you've learned from getting back out post-pandemic?
This feels like a Clay question.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
good.
I mean,
Clay.
we just absolutely. When we go out there, we always get into a little bit of fun everywhere we go. Recently,
Trouble? Little trouble?
No trouble,
No,
no
okay.
trouble, only fun. We were recently, I think it was back in November, we were in Auburn, Alabama, and when we went to go play at this place, we didn't know what we were quite getting into, but it was called Bogging on the Plains. And I don't know, do you know what bogging is?
Bogging?
In the context of this, it's when you get on ATVs, like ATVs and like side-by-sides, and you go and just ride through the mud. Well, this festival was getting put on by a bunch of college students that I don't really think they quite knew what they were getting into either. Regardless,
Oh, boy.
we get there, and there's just havoc going on. I mean, they're just wreaking havoc. There's dirt bikes going, just doing jumps. They're going through mud. They're just slinging it everywhere. And we're like, we have no idea
Were
what's
you
going on.
afraid at any point?
I'll be honest. When I first got there, I was like, where are we? And then by the time that were done with our set, a couple of the people who were riding the side-by-sides and ATVs had then invited us to come ride with them. This was about midnight.
And
we
did
finished
you
playing.
and did you tell them you'd be okay doing that as long as they mask?
No, this was this during the pandemic or outside of the pandemic?
No, this was last
After I was
last
joking.
Oh,
yeah.
right. So we finished playing, I think, around midnight or 12:30, and I think that we're going to get in their side by side and just ride around for like 30 minutes, just show us the grounds. We end up staying out until 4 o'clock in the morning, and we don't make it back. And as this trip's going, we are like, where are we? We don't know where we're at. It is just, it's absolute chaos. But we made it back, I think, about 4 o'clock in the morning. They ended up taking us out for 3 hours, and never exchanged information. We didn't talk. We didn't even really I don't remember their names, and that was the end of it. We got in our tent, and
Just
we woke
kind
up
of
the
a
next morning.
one-night stand kind of thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. And then got out of there. That was the most recent one that I would say is pretty interesting.
Well, that sounds like the best possible reason that you should have your parents' number on speed dial on your cell phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's a great story. Any other stories anybody wants to tell before we get back to music? That's hard to beat there.
Yeah, that's the freshest one, and probably still tackles most of them. They're usually not that exciting, but
Well, you guys got it. You guys have a lot of exciting music to play, and I would, you're the kind of band I can't imagine anybody would want to miss getting to see you guys out on town at a saloon or any place, So
Thank you.
I wish you guys well, and so glad you could make the trip and come up here and be with us. You guys have been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Great music.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's not over. Yeah, you guys got a couple more tunes to play, and maybe we'll even get you back for an encore.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
All right, good. Let's get back to some music with the Brothers Gillespie on Red Barn Radio.
I'll give a quick backstory for this one. I think it's fitting.
Thank you.
Well, when we went on our first tour through the Southeast in 2019, I was taking note of road signs and interesting city and town names I saw. One of them being, as we passed through Alabama, I guess, it was spelled Opelika. And so sometime later when we got home, I started to incorporate it into a song. And I, of course, was pronouncing it Opelika to Biloxi. Then we recorded it maybe a year and a half later, and I think it was the day after we recorded lyrics, it dawned on me maybe I should look up to see how both those towns were pronounced. Of course, Biloxi I got right, but Opelika is pronounced Opelika. So, and our good friend Garrett Durhofer that recorded for us suggested, he said, well, it's one, you only say it once, just go in there and re-record it, and then we can decide. And for whatever reason, I think I was a little embarrassed, but being stubborn, I decided against it because I thought maybe it was more genuine, the fact that I didn't know how to pronounce it. So I don't know. The people in Alabama didn't seem to have a problem with it, but I feel like we've not faced the brunt of insulting the Opelikans. But at any rate, without further ado, this is Opelika to Biloxi. No one's caught us outlaws, 'cause we ain't that mean. Someone caught us drunkards in a local magazine. Took too much medicine, burn off the skin, but the cure don't call for more. I just can't quit looking in. One tail's put on the earth to be chased by dogs. I'm worried about you. Will you please come home? Davis, I'm worried about you. Won't you please come home? Put off on a hogback in the middle of a flood. Someone who warned us we'd have built it out of wood. And all these yellow walls are the same old shape. I'll be gone tomorrow, but tonight I'll be a stay. One tire's put on the earth to be chased by dogs. I'm worried about you. Please come home. Davis, I'm worried about you. took our shoes off at Graceland's gates. Anyone tracks mud, that's an enemy to stay. This day will be good, the stones will roll over Nika to the Luxie and Jericho. Once put on the earth, by dogs, I'm worried about you. Won't you please come home? Davis, I'm worried about you. Won't you please come home? Thank you. This next one we're going to play is a cover, and usually we don't play a lot of covers. This one holds a lot of significance to me. The first time we played it was this summer. We were in Columbia, South Carolina, playing outside a brewery to a crowd of people that weren't, well, quite frankly, weren't paying attention to us or listening. And so I think we were trying to hit a 3-hour mark and struggling to do that so that we could get paid. But at some point we realized that no one's listening. It's 90-something degrees out here. It's the middle of summer in Columbia. But we decided to turn it into just an open practice. And so we're just kind of, at some point we started playing to each other rather than, the backs of the people at the bar. And I think in between two songs we had like a little dead air, and I just started strumming this song. And of course they fell right in line. And I think probably halfway into tearing into it, these guys were trading solos. And I was aware that I was in a moment that I could step back and look, and I saw how much fun we were having. We were just kind of chuckling and grinning. We were playing to ourselves. Here we are 2 hours away from home. But it reinforced to me that we were doing what we were supposed to be doing and what we wanted to be doing, and we were having fun doing it. And at least at this stage in our music careers, that's a familiar kind of territory, is playing somewhere where they're not really listening and you're just kind of playing to each other. So I was fortunate enough to kind of step out, and so this song means a lot to me. With that being said, we played it all year, and I'm hoping that it's kind of like a ceremonial putting it to bed and we don't ever play it again. So for the last time ever, this is our rendition of Can't You See? take a freight train down at the station. I don't care where it goes. I'm gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain, and jump off, nobody gonna know. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman knows she been doing to me? Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman knows she been doing to me? I'm gonna find me a hole in the wall. I'm gonna crawl inside and die. 'Cause my lady now, she's a mean old woman, never told me goodbye. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman knows she been doing to me? Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman knows she been doing to me? Gonna take a freight train down at the station. I don't care where it goes. A mountain, the highest mountain, Lord. Jump off, nobody gonna know. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman knows she been doing to me? Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman knows she been doing to me?
Wow, there are so many people to thank for our program tonight. First, the Brothers Gillespie, our guest on tonight's program. We're ever grateful for our volunteers and staff who make our production happen so beautifully each and every week. We want to thank all of you for listening to our webcast, watching us on social media, and those listening to us on the network of Red Barn stations and media worldwide. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn's premier radio partner, Central and Eastern Kentucky's radio news leader. You can listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU. It's NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Those of you here in the Central Kentucky area, you got to be sure to check out Red Barn TV. It's our weekly program of music, now on ABC 36 WTVQ. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Now, before we close out tonight's program, let's bring back the Brothers Gillespie for a little encore.
Thank you. Thank you again so much for having us. We truly are honored and thrilled to be here. This is a song called Ghost Town. Tactics spinning his last years like a lizard on the road. On the search for rainbow feet and answers, I suppose. Tossed her up over a beam and shed his skin. Dropped into the deep just to do it all again. Ain't it a shame how that way? Ain't it a sin that all that doubt Alone ain't no place to make a grand start. Paradise is a ghost town. Paradise is a ghost town tonight.
All right. Well, that's all for our show for this week, folks. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web, on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. You can also listen to archive performances on Patreon, Spotify, and iTunes. Hey, remember, every like, comment, share, and subscribe helps bring roots music, Southern style, to your neck of the woods. And finally this, if any of our featured artists are performing in your area, get out and hear them live. They need you now more than ever. From all of us here at Red Barn Radio now to all of our friends worldwide, keep working together to be safe and healthy. And until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.